All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're washing, waxing, polishing, we're clay barring a 2018 Chevy Silverado. My buddy BJ here brought it over. We're going to work on it. So we're going to go kind of like a DIY, as we go through the washing, the polishing, the waxing. We're going to go through step by step so you can kind of see how it works here. As you know, black trucks or black vehicles, they just get scratches and swirls in them. So we're going to try to get those out as best as possible. So stay tuned to the video. With hand washing, we're using the 2-bucket method where we have one bucket with rinse water and then the other with the soap, so that way we're rinsing out the mitt after each pass and then applying the soap, so that way we're not getting dirt and debris in the soap and trying to minimize the scratching that the hand washing would otherwise cause. Here we're using distilled water in a spray bottle just to get any spots that are left over, touch-up spots. That way the distilled water won't leave any residue behind. Okay, with the truck washed and dried, now we're starting the clay bar process. This, you just spray on the clay bar liquid and then just rub the clay over the surface. This gets all the surface contaminants off, and it's a great step before doing any kind of polishing or waxing of the paint. So we're just doing one panel at a time here, and then just wipe the liquid off once you finish with that panel. You don't want the liquid to dry, so just get it wiped off as soon as you're done with that panel.
Okay, so this is the Porter Cable dual action polisher. It comes with this white polishing pad, and it does not come with a Velcro pad. So I had to go buy this separately. I got it at Harbor Freight for 10 bucks, and it screws on. This polishing pad that it comes with is very limited, so you're not gonna get much quality polishes out of it. I'd recommend not using it. I tried it once on the truck and I just did not get good results. In fact, I think I got a few swirls on it from it. So yeah, I would recommend not doing that. But what I did get is a Hex Logic pad. And so this is the green pad, which is a heavy polishing pad. The most common pads are probably green and orange from this Hex Logic company. And so the orange is a cutting pad, and I decided not to get a cutting pad because the truck's fairly new. It's 2018. The paint's in pretty good condition. It just has minor swirls in it, so I figured it just needs a little bit of polishing, a little bit of cutting just to get the swirls out. So I went with this heavy polishing pad, this green one that you can see here. And so it'll just Velcro to the pad like so. And we should be ready to go. Okay, so another tip too is with these dual action polisher pads, you do apply a little bit more pressure than you would with a rotary polisher. However, you want to put enough pressure that you're still not stopping the spinning action on it. So one thing to do is just get a Sharpie and just put some marks on it like that. And then you can always tell if it stops spinning or not easily. Very quick reference. And so you just want to make sure it just keeps spinning. If it stops spinning, then you're not doing any good and you might be damaging the clear coat or something like that. So you don't want to do that. One thing with these dual action polishers though, they are a little bit more forgiving. than the rotary polishers. So they're a little bit better, I would say, for DIYs such as myself or Mike. So if you're looking to get into polishing, I'd recommend getting one of these. All right, so we're gonna start polishing. The polish that I got is a one-step applicator. It's from Chemical Guys. It's called VSS, or scratch and swirl removal. And so what you want to do is you want to, every time you apply this, you want to do it in about a 2x2 section, just so it's manageable and you can track what you're doing. And how this works is you really want to let it work into the paint until it comes clear, and then you'll just wipe away the clear translucent polish that's left over with a microfiber towel. So the first thing that you'll do is shake up the bottle a little bit, you know, make sure it's evenly coated, and then put about 5 dimes marks on it, about that one. And then you want to make sure that it's wet. So what I did is I just got distilled water, just so I know that it's completely clean. Just put it in a spray bottle, just save some money. I know that Chemical Guys sell applicators or conditioners, as they call it, but distilled water will do the same thing. So just kind of spray it a few times, get it wet, and then find your 2x2 area. So we'll do probably here to here, down here. So what you want to do first is just kind of dab it. I think is that a good area, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so you'll start on setting 1, the slow setting. We're going to spread it around evenly, okay? And then after we spread it, we'll go up to, I like to do 5 or 6. We'll try that. And then what you'll want to do is move in a motion once you're on the high speed setting, about 1 inch per second. So like this, and really work it. The directions say to go about 2 to 3 times. And then on the last pass, you'll lighten the pressure a little bit. But so you want moderate pressure, and so basically enough pressure that you're working this into the paint, but you're not stopping it from spinning. So we'll get started on that, okay?
All right, now you just buff off the residue with a microfiber towel, see the results, and then we move to the next panel.
start polishing the actual paint of the truck, it's not usually a good idea to polish a clear bra. If you have a clear bra, the polish just ends up staining it, from what I hear. So technically we probably should have taped it, but we're just going to wipe off any excess here. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty simple, but yeah, don't polish clear bras. But if you do have wax or any type of ceramic coating, those definitely should be coated, and it's good to do that.
Okay, we have one side of the truck polished, and we're going to start using the jet seal. So while BJ is doing the other side, I'm going to start working on jet sealing the side that's done. This jet seal is a long-lasting paint sealant that's applied with just this microfiber sponge. We're just going to put a few little stripes on it, really just to apply it on there. It just gets wiped onto the vehicle, and wait about 20 minutes after it's been applied, and then buff it off with a microfiber towel. Okay, while we're finishing up the polishing, I've gone around and done the jet seal on the other side and most of the driver's side here. Now I'm going to follow up with the butter wet wax. So these are the Chemical Guys products that we're using. This we're just going to apply with a microfiber sponge right on the surface, and then we'll buff that right off. So we're going to get started with the wet wax. Okay, this butter wet wax goes on very easily. Just back and forth, make sure it just gets nice and smooth. Spread it out nice and evenly, a nice thin coat over the entire paint. And then you can wipe it off right away, or you can let it dry to a haze and wipe it off. So there's no real set time frame on how quickly to remove it. All right, here we are getting to the final panel, the tailgate, polishing that. After this, we'll be all finished with the polishing, and we'll be able to continue the jet wax and the waxing. Okay, we just finished up. Probably took us 5, almost 6 hours to go this. The polishing was really the hardest and longest part. So just a couple tips, things we kind of learned along the way here.
Yeah, so with polishing, I think at first I was trying to do too much. And so I think the trick is just let the polisher do the work. When you're polishing, I liked the 5-speed, not the 6-speed. The 6 was a little bit too powerful. But the trick I would say is just light and slow. So you're gonna apply light, even pressure, and just go slow and let it do the work. After a while, after a few passes, you'll notice that it gets like a wet, clear texture. And that wipes off really nice. If you see that wet, clear texture, you know that the polish is broken down and it wipes off real well, and you'll get a nice slick surface. So, and just make sure you should go in each direction as a crosshatch pattern. So, but yeah, it turned out pretty nice for DIY. But yeah, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, so once we got the polishing done, the jet seal went on very easily. The wax went on very easily and then just wipes right off. So depending on how thorough you do on the polishing, that's really going to determine how much time it's going to take you. So, all right, thanks for watching.